Yay Media Group.
Hey guys, it's Stephanie.
I'm Trey.
This is your weekly dose of BS.
How is the rental looking?
It's better. I still need to find a big rug for that one space. Okay, so speaking of Ruggable, which we talked about in our last episode, I used AI because I was like, you know what, Trey is great.
My favorite,
I used
yes.
AI. Okay, so I used...
You liked my renderings, huh?
I was like, you know
Thank
what?
you.
ChatGPT, Trey said he worked with those renderings, so I took a picture of my living room and I said, hey, go on ruggable.com and give me 4 options of what rugs would look like in this room. And you know what they did? They gave me 4 options of what rugs would look like. Oh. And so I can kind of visualize the space. However, I don't know if I love my furniture layout in my living room. And I cannot for the life of me figure out what to do with it. It's driving me crazy. So that's my next thing. But I've organized my bathroom. I've organized the closet. The kitchen's organized. I still need to, but I still have a lot of work to do. My kids' upstairs area, I think I'm not going to go spend a lot of money because we're redoing our home. But I think I need to go to like Target or something and like buy,
just like storage bins, or like drawers and stuff. Yeah,
like something to put like their clothes in. Maybe just like a very simple, like Trester drawers or something. And I don't know. I need to really. It's almost like I am that person that if I will be stressed about something, but I won't do anything about it because it stresses me out so much. But I need to take action. I did go because my bathroom was driving me absolutely crazy to the point to where I have, like, I don't know if you can feel right here, Trey. Maybe you don't want to feel my leg. Mm-hmm. My leg is completely bandaged right now.
Why?
Because I don't have a lot of counter space in my bathroom. And I was trying to curl my hair and so that's when, after this happened, I was like, I am going to the Container Store and I'm going to make this happen. I was curling my hair with a curling iron and it fell off and it hits me right here on my leg. And Travis and I had a lunch right afterwards because I was trying to get ready for this lunch that he wanted me to go to with him. And it hurt, but it wasn't like, I didn't have time to really ice, or I like put a cold towel on it and kept getting ready, right? And then I wore a pair of jeans because I was like, okay, didn't realize how bad my leg was, okay? So we're sitting here at this lunch meeting we have, and I'm in so much pain. Like my leg is throbbing, and I cannot pay attention to anything this sweet lady's saying in front of me. And I felt bad because it was like a charity thing that we were at, but I literally, like, she would ask me questions and I was like, I felt bad. I wasn't paying attention to anything she said because all I could think of was what in the world is going on with my leg. So finally, and then I had my like drink and I would put my drink on my leg and I'm sure she's like, this girl's crazy. I was just trying to get any relief I could. So then finally I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom because I just wanted to check my leg out. So I, TMI, pull my pants down and my leg has like blisters all over it. So I'm like, shoot, I really burned the crap out of myself. Okay. And so we get back. Thankfully, Travis has an appointment, so we have to leave. So afterwards, I'm like, I'm sorry if I wasn't talkative. I said, I really hurt myself. I told him what happened, and I was like, I'm not okay right now. So then he was like, I don't think he thought it was bad. And then so I said, can I just show you? So we're in, nobody else is in the parking lot. So I pull my pants down and he's like, oh my God, that's horrible. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. So, anyways, I'm still like, so now everything I wear, I just have to wrap my leg. At ChatGPT is my doctor. Every day I take a picture and I send it to ChatGPT and I said, please tell me how I can make this better. And then it tells me, it says it's a 2nd degree burn. It blistered, but it's now like popped and now I'm just having to really take care of it. And then, they said, don't be on the sun, use Mederma. I'm all ready. The ChatGPT and I are going to get through this together, but it hurts like a mofo. So after that, I was like, okay, I have to make this bathroom work for me. I cannot just go around burning the crap out of myself. Right. So I went, if you live in Dallas, and I think it's still going on, by the Galleria Mall, there is a Container Store, and most everything's like 50% off. So if you need like storage for your house, like I do, like like I needed to kind of organize all of my stuff. I have a ton of stuff. I'm way too much stuff. I throw away bags and bags and bags of stuff.
I knew whenever we were packing up that house, I was like, there's more we need to get rid of than we're packing. And now that it's at your new house, you're like, man, I shouldn't have brought this. Yeah,
but I'm still like busting the seams. Like I really only use one curling iron, but I have like 15. But I feel like maybe I'll use them. So, but I mean, all my hair stuff is in my bedroom because I can't fit it. Anyway, it's just different. But it's kind of, I mean, it is sad. I walked in our old house and it's like just demolished. I feel like all of my memories are just demolished right now. It's a very emotional time. And Trey, it like makes fun of me. But it is. It's like I'm kind of sad about it. Because I feel like I'm really missing out of like, I don't know. I'm kind of regretting. I wish we would have done this after Chance graduated. I'm kind of regretting
I feel
doing
like
it right now.
You're going to remember like your time in that rental.
Yes, I hope so. I mean, the kids love it. The kids are like, I like this so much better
Can we
than
never
our
move
original
back?
house. They love it. They love the location. They're by all their friends. Cruz rides his bike everywhere. I mean, he has it all figured out. Like, I'll be making dinner, and Cruz will go ride his bike with his friends, and I'll call Cruz, and I'll be like, hey, dinner's almost ready. When are you going to be home? And he's like, oh, I'm eating at Chipotle with all my buddies. And I'm like, asshole, could you not have told me this? Like, I'm making enough for 4 people. I mean, they're living their best life. I just need to.
I think this would be worse if your kids hated it. I think then you'd be like, this is a mistake.
I would be like, oh, but they love it.
Are you the only one that really hates it?
No, I mean, Travis also is like, it's just not, it doesn't, I think for both of us, but we're both like starting to
find your flow, your rhythm.
Yeah. Like, I think he's just like, there's a lot of change in our life. I told my therapist, I was like, what is going on with me? Like, I'm kind of like a little depressed since we moved. And she was like, you have a lot of change happening. And she was like, and that's, like end of school year, a move. My youngest son got into a different school, his brother's school. So we're moving him next year. And I just feel like
that's exciting.
It's exciting, but I have cried every day. I've dropped him off at school.
Well, does this mean this is is Chance going to take him next year?
No, because Chance has football and he doesn't. So no, I think I'll still take him, and it's close to our rental house. I'm
sure your carpool situation's a lot easier.
It'll be a lot easier, but but at the same time, Cruz is thriving at the school we're pulling him from, and as a mom. And Cruz made this choice, but I felt like it was the right choice. And now I'm just kind of like guessing myself a little bit. I'm like, okay, what if I move? What if next year I'm like that girl that's like, there's 99 problems and 98 are made up in my head type personality. But I'm like, what if next year he goes to this new school and he has no friends and he hates it and he's miserable? And I took my very, very happy, thriving child out of a very safe environment that makes him feel so loved and supported and throw him to the wolves and he's miserable. Like that's not a good parenting feeling. And then Travis says he's going to be fine. Kids are great.
I have no doubt that Cruz will adapt to any situation he's in.
We'll be right back and I'll tell you what Cruz says. Okay, so Cruz says, you know what? I'm going to give it till Christmas. And then if I'm miserable, I want to move back. And I said, okay. And then Travis said, no, let's give it a year. And I said, behind the scenes, I said, Cruz, I've got your back.
Mama
if you
will
hate
move
it,
you.
I'm like, Mama's going to take care of this. I will move you back if you hate it. I can't, the guilt will haunt me. But also, Cruz is very, very, very smart with math and science. He's a very, very smart kid. He's straight A's. And he thrives at a school that's geared towards kids with learning differences. And he's extremely bright. But I'm throwing him to more of a neurotypical school that's really not geared towards his learning style. And I'm hoping that has enough tools to excel here. But I'm very nervous because he's extremely dyslexic. And the only class that makes me nervous is English, because writing papers is hard for him at a school that gives him a lot of grace. And I know, because I have Chance at this school, it's a sink or swim environment. And I don't know, but I need to I'm just a little nervous that.
Are you going to start college tours next year?
Yeah. I mean,
does that make you
That's another thing that's really sad. I think just everything's I really like my kids. That's my problem. I asked my mom when I was driving, because I'm really getting kind of sad that I only have 2 more years left with Chance. And I really like, and I'm not just saying that because they're my kids. They're really good kids. I mean,
you do have really great kids.
Exceptionally good kids. They're good humans. They're great people. And I enjoy them. I really do. They can be little assholes sometimes, but 99% of the time I really enjoy my children. And I like they're my friends. I like hanging out with them. They're my buddies. And I'm going to be really sad when Chance leaves. And I asked Mom, I said, were you just so sad? Like, whenever I went off to college, like, were you just so heartbroken? Because I'm already just dreading not having him in my house every day.
And what'd she say?
And she said, no, I was so ready for you to get out of the house. I said, oh my God, that's horrible. And I said, I must just have a really good kid. And she was like, no, you and your sister were such handfuls. No, I was so ready to get you guys out of the house. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So anyways, shout out to my mother. Now, like, my mom and I talk every day, but I guess I was quite the handful in high school.
How is Chance as a teenager compared to you as a teenager?
I think Chance he's super easy. He's super easy. No, I think I was okay. So,
but is that just like the boy to girl difference?
I think it's more boy to girl. I think I was very hormonal. Like, I was very emotional, and I still am emotional and probably hormonal. So it's never changed. But I think as a girl, also, I think I had, now that I'm doing therapy, and I hope my mom never listens to this because she's like one of those people that beats herself up. I think I had a lot of trauma that I never really worked through and that I'm working through as an adult from my childhood. And I think a lot of people do. My parents got divorced when I was in 4th grade, and they got remarried when I was in 7th grade. And even though it was the best thing as an adult for them to do, the best thing, because I think that their relationship needed to change, and we needed therapy as a family. And I'm not going to get into why the divorce happened because that's their story, not mine to share. But I will say it was the most traumatic experience of my life. Mm-hmm. Your parents got divorced, but it was not like that for you. But for me, I remember just feeling like my world was ripped apart. And I went from being in this small town that I grew up in, and all my cousins went to school there. And in 4th grade, just my parents, I should have known they were going to get to, like, they weren't super happy before they got divorced. But as a kid, whenever your foundation's rocked like that, mm-hmm. it was really scary. And I remember we moved to Tahlequah, Oklahoma. When my parents got divorced, my mom went back to college, and because she was like, I have to support these 2 girls now as a single mom. And she went back to college and ended up getting her master's. So it was actually a beautiful thing at the end, but I remember just and we lived in student housing. Felt like that we went from being like a very middle class family in our very poor small town. So middle class in a very poor small town is probably very poor in Dallas, but mm-hmm. in a very, very small town, I felt like comfortable. Yeah. I felt like I was like everybody else. And when my parents got divorced, my mom was barely making it. And we lived in student housing, married student housing. And the apartments were disgusting, if I'm being honest. And we had roaches everywhere. We were constantly having to get the bug sprayer for roaches. And I just felt like kind of the poor, gross girl at school. I was like, oh, I'm like, I don't have what everyone else has. Mm-hmm. And my mom and dad were both so sad. Mm-hmm. And it was just so hard. It was like living in a very depressed life for 3 years. Like, I remember crying every day, just feeling like my whole world had shifted. Like, my family unit wasn't together. My apartment that we lived in was horrible. I didn't fit in. The school was super sporty. I'm like the least sporty girl. Like, everybody played basketball. It was like this very, sports driven school. And I just didn't. Anyways, then they got back together and it got better, but it was just a hard time. I don't know where I got into that, but so I think there was a lot of trauma from that time, even though we did a lot of therapy that I've worked through EMDR therapy.
I remember one of our friends, Stephanie C, said to me a few years ago, we were talking about something. I think about how I was already overthinking, like, is our kid going to be bullied for not having a mom and having 2 dads and that? And she said, we all fuck up our kids in our own special way. And I was like, that is true. So true. Like, yeah, there's going to be something, but you got to keep moving forward in life.
The answer to your question is no. Travis and I have actually talked about this.
What?
About you being a dad, and Zach. And Travis is like, no, your kids are not going to be bullied. I can tell you why. Because I have 2 boys, right? And like, for example, I will say Chance, for example. All of his friends are like sporty kids, right? I would say the more quote unquote popular kids at school. Not one of them does not love you. Like all my kids' friends love Trey. I mean, my kids love Trey more than me half the time. They're like, no, he's fun. He'll do whatever we say. So no, you're like such a likable, fun, loving, like kid yourself. And Zach is such a good person that no, your kids are like totally winning the lottery. And they're never going to be like, I wish I didn't have these two dads. And they're never going to be made fun of because every parent and every child at their school is going to love you guys. That's the truth. No,
I have come to the realization that Zach and I are absolutely going to be PTA co-presidents together. Yes. And like all the moms better watch their tone. Yes. Because we're coming for all of your jobs.
Yes. I mean, moms will love it. I think you guys are going to rule the school.
We're probably going to be a nightmare.
You're going to be fun. You're going to make it fun. You're going to rule the school.
Everything will be fabulous.
Yes.
It'll be great. Well, on that note, we got to go.
Oh, yes. Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. You can follow me at Steph Hollman on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
You can follow me at Trey_Stewart. You can follow our podcast at BS The Podcast. You can watch us on YouTube at Weekly Dose of BS. Bye.
Yay Media Group.